Morning. Morning, Paul Wilson. Morning, all.
Like the first morning, blackbird has spoken. Come on, everybody. Like the first bird. Praise
for the living. Pray for
and
the
sacrifice.
I am a raven. I'm a
raven.
bird.
You're a blackbird.
I am a moron. I wear shit sandals. I am a big tool. And I smell bad. I have nostril hair hanging down to my feet. I've got an ear hair. It's depressing me.
Morning has broken like the first morning.
I love these little get-togethers. Carry on. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird.
My favourite one in the morning is good morning.
Good morning.
Ain't it great to stay up late?
Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you and you.
If you could see the shit heap behind this camera of this, well, how is it so messy again?
Because you're a
we
freaking
didn't
nightmare.
even talk. We didn't even.
We're not going to
cook last
swear
night.
this
we had
morning.
Sushi, no swearing.
It's pre-watershed, and we think that last night it got a little bit carried away because Nadia was talking about naughtiness. She was talking about naughtiness. She let us down. Purple Snowdrop. How are you, darling? Josh Dobbs. Wishing you luck if you've got COVID. But don't forget, most people don't have a bad time on it. Katie Merricks. Dawn Claricoats. Good morning, all. That's a gorgeous surname. Leo, I love it when you sing Come On Over to My House. Sing it.
Come on over to my house.
Hey!
Come on, we're having a party. I don't know the next.
I do
first step back.
Come on, baby.
Come on.
I don't know what the words are to anything. My head is a scramble and it's a mess. It's like scrambled egg in my brain today.
We should think of a song that we can all sing to.
Wait,
No.
Kimberly Harper, it's her birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kimberly Harper. Happy birthday to you. You know what I think we should do? I think we should think of a song that we're going to sing tonight, quiz night.
Right.
And then everyone can get the words.
Right.
And at home, you can sing. We'll all sing along. We'll have a sing song to get us to lift our moods and boobs.
Well, especially with the sad news this morning of Vera Lynn.
I don't know this. Tell me what's happened.
Well, apparently Dame Vera Lynn has died at the age of 103.
She really was 103.
Yeah. The We'll Meet Again singer, known as the Force's sweetheart. Her family said, we're deeply saddened to announce the passing of one of Britain's best loved entertainers. And that for me is a very poignant moment because that's my nan's generation. That's our the war generation, an amazing lady. And how beautiful and how apt that the Queen should invoke the words of her song in her address to the nation earlier this year.
Yeah, when the Queen did that early in the year, you know, her first speech during lockdown, it made me cry when she said, we will meet again. I bet the Queen's upset today. Was she married?
She was also fondly remembered for singing the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah,
They'll always be in England.
Cliffs of
I'll be
Dover.
seeing you, wishing, and if only I had wings, to help raise British spirits during the Blitz. You know, and
we don't really know anything about her life. I mean, was she married? Did she have children? Was she wealthy? I haven't got a clue.
I don't know either. And sometimes it's quite nice that somebody else.
Yeah, we don't need to know, do we? Maybe she was just...
I think what she proved, and people in the sort of entertainment corps, in the army and all that sort of thing prove, is the importance of the creative arts at all times. You know, the ability to be able to sing, be united in song, to be united in performance. You know, stuff that is playful. Stuff that takes us away from the horrors of life. So I think huge tribute. And I know my nanny Thelma will be loving the fact that wherever Dame Vera Lynn has gone to, she'll be alongside her, nearer to Nanny Thelma, and they'll be able to sing together.
Aww.
Yeah. You know, these things, as people slowly disappear or die, and of course they won't be forgotten,
Yeah.
our remembrance of certain things really does shift away.
It will always be played when it's like an alternative national anthem.
Absolutely.
We'll meet again, and especially after, like you say, the Queen invoking it in the lockdown chat.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Our hearts and prayers
Hearts
go
and prayers.
to her friends and
Her
family. Yeah.
I hope, and I would assume, and you feel that she perhaps lived. You never know for everyone, they do. She hopefully lived the life that she wanted to live. What an age! 103, absolutely a great age. So, Paige Elizabeth, you treating us to any new content today, Marky boy? Well, yes, it's a vlog day today, Thursday, always a vlog day.
Zach, get out the shower. Suzanne says,
Yeah,
get
Zach,
out the shower.
Out the shower. Go and turn the lights off in
Get
the shower.
out the shower.
Always
Zach,
works.
get out the shower.
If you need the bathroom sooner, put your light switch on the outside of the bathroom. In our house, both of them are. It's really handy.
Oh, Stuart, I'm sorry. Stuart lost his dad, didn't he? 73. It is young.
Stuart, yeah.
It's 20 weeks today.
Far
And
too
you've been
young.
really struggling, and it's just, whatever age somebody dies is too young. Because there's even Dame Vera Lynn, 103, at some point the light goes off, and none of us ever want the light to go off.
And I always have this, I always say this thing that people often say, oh, how old was she? When you say that someone's like, how old was she? I always find that so sort of like pointless. The older they are, the more there is to miss.
Yeah.
Mandy Nanny, why doesn't your sing-along be We Will Meet Again?
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Boom, Mandy Nanny.
So everyone get the words for the quiz tonight, and we'll
Yeah.
all sing We Will Meet Again
Yeah.
at the end of quiz night.
Oh,
But everyone's got to have the words, including us, because we don't know the words to any effing song.
Hattie, you're going to be in tears.
Natty.
Natty or Hattie?
We don't know. We just keep having
It's
the option.
Hattie. Everyone keeps telling us, what are the names of those two characters on Gogglebot?
Natty.
Hattie!
No, people think it's Hattie, but it's a nickname they have for each other. She calls him Natty, and he calls her Natty.
Oh, Lauren Edwards, I'm pleased you liked the platform. It was kind of crazy, wasn't it? Check out the King of Staten Island. It's good. Nutty. Nutty. Why does he say Nutty?
Oh, Lily. Lily is having a shit time. My 49-year-old dad has terminal cancer.
Oh,
I'm
no.
14. Oh, sweetheart.
Oh, sweetheart.
Oh, God, that's so hard. Wow.
Oh,
I
God,
don't
I'm so
even
sorry.
know what to say to that.
Don't. That would be like Kiki
But
and
you
me.
know what? If you really are struggling with your feelings, and you can sometimes it's very difficult, isn't it? If somebody is ill, to not feel that you're taking up time that you shouldn't if you need to talk. So again, places like the Samaritans, Childline. People think of Childline as only something if something really, really, I don't know how to say it, because it is really bad that your dad's got terminal cancer, but something. Basically, Childline is there for anyone, for any child that is going through anything. So if you need somebody to talk to outside of your family because you're worried about being a burden, or worrying people because they're worrying about other stuff, which is what we all go through as kids, give Childline a ring, and there'll be somebody there that just might be able to just listen to you, because you probably just need somebody to listen to you, because I imagine that you're worrying about upsetting everybody else by being upset. That can happen.
And as someone just mentioned there, sorry, I lost your name. Mind is a great charity for young adults, or young, sort of children that aren't sort of toddlers. Do you know what I mean?
Minds.
Young minds is really good. Lucy Kitson, how are you guys feeling today? I hope everything was okay last night. Yes, we did post on all our platforms that we were delaying the quiz till tonight. If these things ever happen, it's usually because there's a conflict of work.
We just couldn't we had deadlines for all sorts of things, and we just looked at it and we went, we are in a state of total panic. This is ridiculous. Yeah. We'll just move it to Thursday.
We just had some really urgent work that had to be done. But it's happening tonight at 8 o'clock. So Claire Ross Reed, you're absolutely right. The questions will start at 8:15.
Do you know what I think we should do soon on YouTube? We haven't done for ages. We should do a watch along at some point.
Well, we haven't done anything like that for a while.
Yeah, because we've been so COVID. We should do a showbiz.
But also, we used to do things like that with Love Island and I'm a Celebrity. A watch along of something.
Anybody got any ideas of something they'd like to do a watch along with on
telly
YouTube?
tonight? What are people watching on telly tonight?
Well, I can't do it tonight. We're doing a quiz.
Oh yeah, sorry, not tonight. I don't know. I'm just in a constant rolling. I feel like my life is 24-hour rolling news on our channel.
Saturday. Yes, I did. Yeah. You feel like your life's a 24 rolling out news. I did. Yeah, right. Don't forget on Saturday.
Just looking at my pocket.
As long as Lee can get his booster that he's ordered from Amazon, we are going to be doing a joint live on YouTube and his YouTube, and he's going to be teaching us how to make the perfect espresso martini, and I'm going to be making the perfect mocktail.
Way.
So that'll be
That's the first
fun.
time we've ever done it. We've never done a
Never
share
done
live
it.
on YouTube.
So that's a massive first for us. So we're really hoping that that goes well, and that you can all just have something a bit different, because everyone's doing quizzes on a Saturday night. There's a lot of that. It's a sea of it, isn't it, on Saturday night?
A lot of people saying we should do Gogglebox as a watch along, but
Right. Okay.
they've
So
all finished
how
though,
does
haven't
that
they?
work then? We could do a classic. Oh, my favourite Gogglebox is the one from last Christmas where they showed one brilliant clip. Why don't we do that? The watch along of the greatest moments.
But everyone would need to be able to watch it with us. A watch along is them being able to watch it with us. So if people don't have Sky, how do they watch it?
Ah, okay.
It has to
Yeah,
be
that's
something
true.
that's on. It has to be an ongoing series. We'll just have to wait until something comes up.
We'll have a
Big
think.
Brother, like you did with Lee. Why don't you do Big
Oh, would
Brother?
you like to do that on a live?
What are they showing? I don't understand.
All the classic ones.
Well,
The great-
that's an absolute gift.
Oh, well, should we do
Because
that
everyone
then?
will have seen them before anyway. We'll know what's coming.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's do Friday watch along.
Friday watch along, Big Brother. I just wanted to flag up. Did anyone else see the footage of Matt Hancock in the House of Parliament, in the House of Commons?
No, was he been a total idiot
Not
again?
observing social distancing.
Oh, God, touching the guy's back and then standing right next to him.
I mean...
Yeah, I saw that. And then you saw him move away.
Well, the other guy moved away from
But
him,
Trump.
Look, he's got his arm and hand on his back.
More on Trump, and is the other day when he was signing this new bloody whatever it is for looking at the police, which I think sounds like a load of fluff anyway.
There he is.
So he's got everybody's as close as this to him for the photo, right? And then he gets a handful of pens and he passes a pen to each person, and then gets them to pass. Hang on, to pass the bundle of pens round.
Yeah.
So it was even worse than this.
Even worse. But I mean, I tell you what, all this sort of footage shows you and tells you is that none of them are taking it seriously.
Which makes us think we shouldn't take it seriously.
Precisely. What isn't there to get about this?
He does
shit?
though. Look, he moved
He moves
right
right
for him.
back. Yeah, I'd have thought Matt Hancock. It's a bit like head lice, isn't it? If you've had a big infestation, I mean, he's at the heart of coronavirus, but everyone thinks he's got it. What was I going to say? So
University deadline day.
Yeah.
Coronavirus has changed my whole life. Oh, is it today they have to say whether
Yeah, this
they're
is what we
going
were
or
talking
not?
about the other day. It's deadline day for anyone deciding whether to accept their university offers today. UCAS said earlier this week that more than 65,000 applicants have yet to make up their minds. Well,
Oh God, we should put that in the title. I bet there's lots
being
of
in the
people
middle
that
of a
like to talk about
pandemic
that.
means those choices are more complicated than usual. This is tough. This is tough because there are two ends to this. If everyone were to suddenly not go this year, all the universities would have an enormous funding crisis.
Wow.
I mean, a massive funding crisis. I think the whole issue around foreign students is a massive funding crisis already. But at the same time, every student or child is entitled to have the best experience they possibly can at university. So I don't know. If I was a student, I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, if I could, I think I probably would delay, because you can't think about the if everyone thought about the collective good, everyone would go, wouldn't they, for the sake of universities? But everyone's only got their experience of university once.
Well, I mean, it's going to sort the wheat from the chaff. Who is going to university because they're excited about going in depth into the subject that they're passionate about, and think, well, for the first 6 months, I'm just really going to get into my work, and then I'll meet up with everybody and we'll party like there's no tomorrow. Or are people going, oh my God, I'll have to work for the whole first year of university? And I suppose that those that are really into the actual learning of it will go, and those.
But I think even the learning of it is going to be compromised, because there are lots of
it's
universities
all
talking
online.
about it being online.
Which is horrible.
I mean, the whole part of the equation that needs to be explored is value for money. I know it's a horrible phrase, but in what way are these students incurring £9,000 charge every year for tutorial, for the tuition fees?
I wouldn't
What
be
value
encouraging.
for money are they going to be getting?
I wouldn't be encouraging the girls to go. I think it's like you say, it's so much money. And, I have to do my meetings, my loose women meetings every week now on Zoom, and I hate it. And all I'm waiting for is when we can just get rid of that, because it's so difficult to concentrate and to think that could be your whole first year of learning.
Yeah,
Can I just say
go for
that?
it.
This is the one I keep going on about, Mark. This is maybe what we
I
should start
desperately wanna
watching
watch
with
it.
Maddie.
Desperately
Because we
wanna
love
watch
to
it.
have something. I may destroy you. Thank you, Lucy Kitson, for reminding us for that. Can you just lift it up a bit?
Yeah, it'll
So
fly up
BBC
as soon as I do it, so
good.
try and
BBC.
read it.
Michaela Cole is amazing, genius. Definitely worth watching. It's a tough watch about drugs and all sorts of things. It's incredible.
Michaela
Okay, we're going to
does
watch
look
it.
phenomenal. Does look
We're gonna
phenomenal.
watch
Got
it.
some great write-ups over the
Thanks
weekend.
for that. You can tell we've had a double coffee.
My, yeah.
We're talking so fast.
Are we?
We're going to
I don't feel like I'm talking fast enough. Can everyone hit the thumbs up icon beneath Nadia's boobs?
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Might be beneath my
Thumbs up.
boobs. But
Thumbs
please
up.
hit the thumbs up icon.
This boob. Here
That
it
one?
is. Look,
Okay.
I'm just going to
Just
drop
wait,
it onto
just
it.
wait.
1, 2, 3.
Looks like dropping a mic. It's like dropping the microphone, isn't it? Big Brother not on Friday. Oh, Big Brother's not on Friday. Oh, there you go. That's typical. Why not? What a stupid night for it not to be.
Oh, that's annoying. But
Go on.
somebody was saying there, was it Josh, that Love Island Australia is live on ITV every night. Is that
Is
true?
it?
ITV1?
Sarah Watkins,
I'm gonna have a
Nadia
look into
Mark,
that.
can I just say your How to Stay Married podcast yesterday was so beautiful and
Oh,
inspirational,
thank
as it
you,
is.
Sarah.
Thank you for saying that, because it's always...
was in tears.
We feel greatly vulnerable sometimes, especially
Yeah.
Nadia yesterday talking. I mean, it was we both went through it in a different way, but obviously Nadia was going through the thing happening to her, and talking about both births. We do make ourselves vulnerable. A lot of people ask why. There is one simple reason why we put ourselves through that. It's to help other people sort of, share in our experiences too. So, there is an element of if so many experiences we've been through in life, homeschooling, whatever, we wished there had been sort of resources that we could have watched or read
somebody
or
else.
listened to.
What
What's
was
someone
this
else
like
going
for somebody
through?
else? And that's why we always say we don't advise. We just
not
share what
experts.
we've gone. We're experts on.
Well, no, but
I can make a nice scrambled egg.
but sometimes, I've been through education to the highest level, and even the experts aren't always expert. So
Yeah.
what an expert, this idea that there are experts in everything, there aren't. You can be expert in your own experiences. That's a nice phrase.
Well, I like
I'm
that.
expert in my own
I mean,
experiences.
I think the thing is as well. Like every time we do a podcast, like this morning we did Confessions of a
Wow.
Modern Parent.
That was a
We really
humdinger.
we have to dig deep because we know it's going to be upsetting. We know it's going to be, we have to look at ourselves rigorously.
Oh, look.
But it does help us. That's the thing. It's like how AA works and all these things work. You just share your stuff and people share back.
Yeah.
And somehow it just makes us all feel more human.
Absolutely.
Because you can just feel like you're the only one battling something, can't you? Sometimes?
Tracy Gillett, first time I heard an advert for your podcast on Heart Radio yesterday.
Really?
That's exciting.
We have nothing to do with that, of course.
Jackie Valino, you're damn on the money. I am expert in coffee. Expert in coffee. I used to be expert in vodka. I used to be expert in wine, Jack Daniels. I used to be expert in all sorts of things. I'm not doing my lesson today because The Last of Us 2 is on. What is this, The Last of Us 2? Is this a film or is this The Last of Us? I keep seeing this pop up. It's going to be one of those ones that... Courtney Cooper, what did you study at university? First degree, film, English literature, history of art. Second degree, an MA in filmmaking, documentary filmmaking.
He's ever so clever, He's ever so clever. He is. I left school when I was 15.
David Shellard, the planet started healing when we were in lockdown. Why can't we learn from that? Heart hurts for humanity and the planet. All will go back to normal and pollution levels will go up again.
I know,
It is a
David.
worry.
It makes us so sad.
I was speaking to Nanny Di the other day and she said she felt really sad and down. And I said, I know we started to try and unpack it. She's not one for introspection then. She feels things, but she doesn't necessarily analyse things. And I said, well, what do you think it's about? And we tried to dig into it a bit. And I think it is returning back to the way of life as it was, but so many elements of that way of life feel a little bit empty and pale, sort of sad.
They do.
What's that expression? Sort of paler versions of what they were before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Less substantive. So that the things that we were chasing, we don't feel like we need to chase as much. And so it does leave a big gap.
Yeah.
Because you realise you've been propping yourself up with all this stuff. So
One of my favourite words, discombobulation, is happening.
great word.
We are all a bit discombobulated.
But David Shellard, I
What
share
foot
your
do we
thoughts
step
there.
out on now? It's. I mean, yesterday that first trip out, breathing somebody else's air, was the strangest thing. I cannot tell you how weird it was, Mark. And you think for all the years I've been getting into cars, ferried here, ferried there for work, and it was just.
Yeah.
It was just really, really scary, and then that sent me through so many different thoughts about myself and what the meaning of it all is, and yeah. I was staring into the jaws of hell of death yesterday.
Where? In the car?
That's the joke that me and Lee always
I
have.
see.
I said, I mean, getting into an accident
Well, no,
at the moment is like staring into the jaws of death.
No, just for a minute. I thought you were talking about your emotional state at another point in the day, because I was about to say, God, you were hiding it well yesterday.
What's this about longer school days?
Oh my God. Well, can you believe it? Look at this. As if our children aren't stressed
Shouting
enough.
quite a bit.
Sorry.
It's quite exhausting.
As if our children aren't stressed enough.
Oh, that's nice.
Is that right? So as if our children aren't stressed enough, here's what the government are suggesting.
Please.
As
God,
a solution. Children are going to face longer days at school and a plan for bolt-on sessions next year to catch up on education.
Right, well, as homeschoolers, for us, this is total madness.
Melissa
Madness.
Murnane, we are considering unschooling. Can I say one thing without going too much into this territory? The panic stations that the government would have us
Putting
all
you
think
through is disgusting.
outrageous.
Because every time somebody mentions it on the television and says, our children's education and future has been ruined, let's all remember the children can hear, and it's just not true. This could be a time of great growth, a time for people to build relationships with their children, for their children to find things that they love, to go into their passions. And they're having to hear all the time that their whole future could be ruined. It's disgraceful. And you know what it is? It's transference of anxiety. It's projection by the government onto people and onto parents. When parents have got enough to bloody worry about.
My daughter is anxious enough. Now, here's the thing. Now,
longer school days. If I was a parent with my child at school, I would say
it's outrageous. This is we are trying to understand why children and parents are going through an extraordinary amount of anxiety and stress in their lives. It's because the system is trying to deal with more and more kids, and we're trying to funnel more and more kids through the same system that doesn't cater as much as we'd like it to for individual requirements and needs, and we're filtering them all down this funnel to university education, which more and more people are doing. So when you come out at the other end, it's less and less valued because more and more people... It's a simple thing. If you put too much money into the economy, it becomes devalued. If you put too many graduates into the economy, a graduate doesn't have the same value. So we should be championing vocational courses, vocational qualifications, skill sets like plumbers, like technicians, like engineers, and all that stuff, as much as just funneling kids through college.
Who are the heroes at the moment in this pandemic? You know, we've got to have more respect for everything, any job a person could have. It's like, unless you've got a university degree, you're nothing. You're a failure.
Look, Rebecca Holland,
Rubbish.
I'm so worried about what to pursue as a career. I'm 25 and have done 3 completely different college courses over the past few years: journalism, film, animal care, and I'm still clueless. Now, those are all great areas in and of themselves. I'm not being a sort of I'm not a hippie. I am a product of the educational system that could work for you. It worked for me. But I'd be joking if I didn't pretend that 30 years ago was a very different situation to now. It worked for me then. But what works for people now isn't the same thing. And we have to have flexibility as a civilization with, if not keep this system going for some, and the majority maybe, but also championing other ways for others. And that might be homeschooling. It might be, the return of polytechnics, where this idea of...
We need a polytechnic. Where have the polytechnics gone?
So the thing that...
Where have they gone?
I
just don't want you to screw up.
The thing that really, really frustrates me about this is it's putting enormous stress. So we can have longer days to cram in yet more to get them to the back end of an education system that guarantees no one a job.
And I was saying earlier, a friend of mine's friend's son freaked out, had a total meltdown in the playground the other day because another child touched him. We have to understand that children have gone through something with this pandemic, and to just like...
Sorry, that sounded confused. Touched him re-COVID, you mean? Not in a...
Yeah, no, just touched him. Just
literally
literally touched him. And he had a complete meltdown. Just want to read this. Beth Thompson, precisely why I'm not putting my son into the school system. It's awful. We decided we were going to home ed when he was 3. Wow. Oh, I wish I'd done it when they were...
Well, listen to our Confessions of a Modern Parent, because you'll hear one of our biggest regrets tomorrow.
Yeah.
One of our biggest regrets. And this isn't, for those who are...
parent.
We know a lot of teachers. I used to teach and lecture. I have huge skin in the game when it comes to conventional ways of learning.
And there are some really great schools.
Yeah, there are really great schools,
and
really
I love
great
good
teachers.
schools.
But I'm telling you now, even the greatest teachers would admit that the system doesn't serve them well.
Yeah.
The system doesn't
They're
serve
so
them well.
rigidly
They can't
locked
teach
to
how
the
they want to.
curriculum. Yeah.
I mean, Maddie said the other day the only teacher that really stood out to her was the one who didn't want to do it the way the school wanted him to do it.
She said that she went to a private school, you know, she said he used to have to pretend when the head came in that he was doing it in a really boring, staid way.
I'm telling you.
So education becomes like, oh, I've got to go to history.
I've
got to go to geography. I hate it. I hate English. I hate maths. That we're failing somewhere if most of our kids say, I've just got to get these exams done, get them out of the way, and then I can start enjoying life.
We are at
Surely
a
that's
tipping
not,
point. We are at a tipping point in the education of our children. We need to change the system. That doesn't mean you get rid of the system. It means you have more than one way of doing it. And just because we can't, you know, this idea that it's unwieldy, what are we saying? We're just going to educate our
Of course, one box does not fill.
Of course it doesn't.
Doesn't.
If it doesn't in some areas, how can it in the most precious area of a child's mind?
I didn't know they were thinking of longer school days. I am so against this.
Yes,
I think this is absolutely the worst idea I've heard yet.
But it comes from 1,500
Already people don't
paediatricians.
get enough. 1,500 paediatricians have signed an open letter warning the government it needs to get pupils back to school or risk scarring the life chances of a generation. Children will hear that. That is a terrible seed to plant in children. Ruin their life chances.
The plan for increased school hours is expected to be published on Thursday and is said to include funding for bolt-on sessions. Right. How about funding a wider educative system rather than bolt-on sessions? These poor kids. And we wonder why instances of child anxiety and stress are going through the roof.
It's not an accident. It's not an accident that kills kids now. It makes me really cross.
It maked me so
God, I'm
cross.
quite surprised how cross we are.
I'm really cross.
Anyway.
I'm crosser than you.
Moving on, because maybe people are annoying people by being so cross.
Sorry for annoying you. Sorry. We can't keep attention for the school days now. Imagine longer.
Exactly. There was a teacher talking yesterday on the television. I'd forgotten this rule, and she was saying it is a rule. For every year of your child, you give 1 minute for the power of concentration. So 13 minutes, much after that, they kind of lose concentration. And being homeschoolers, we noticed that with our girls, actually. And it doesn't mean you stop learning, you just shift it, you just change it, you do something else, and then you come back to it.
Can I make an interesting observation also on the lines of this connection, as a graduate, the connection between a degree and the line of work that you go into? Most jobs require entirely specific skill sets specific to that job. And more often than not, most people who are employed go through a training process to be able to do the said job. We're not talking about, okay, some they don't, lawyers, doctors, there's very specific stuff that you need to learn to a high level. This is not, again, as I say, this is not about removing the whole system. But the vast majority of kids do degrees that do not set them up in any way, shape or form for a job. It's about learning, it's about expanding the mind, it's about all that kind of stuff. So what that suggests is, if there's always this pre-training session in most lines of work or jobs or working for an institution, getting used to it, if most employers, when I used to employ members of staff, I was never looking for the one that took the media degree or the film degree or the television making degree. I was always looking for someone who would bring something from the outside or wasn't even necessarily educated high. I would sit there and sit with them. How will you be on the phone? How will you be as a human? Do you have human intelligence, not intelligence on a piece of paper?
Well, that's what you always said to me, wasn't it, right when you first met me? You know, I said, you know, when I haven't had an education, I left school really early, I was a wayward rebel, and you always said to me, I just knew instantly you were really smart.
Yeah,
I wasn't interested at all.
She's the greatest. I mean, as a co-producer on many of the programmes we made, she was my first port of call. Not the commissioners who'd been to Oxbridge at the BBC. I would go to Nadia because her instinct was right for the viewer because she understood the viewer better than an ivory-towered Oxbridge graduate.
And that's why I really, really take umbrage with paediatricians and governments putting a sentence out like that, that
really
you have
bad.
ruined, but you are ruining the chances of their future. How dare you say that? Everything is not pinned on what you got at school. Look here, what's this one? My friend took a year off for anxiety. She's now a successful paramedic, not scarred at all. Thank you.
Or scared. Yeah, not scared or scarred.
No, we were talking about scarred. I think it was a misspell.
Yeah.
Louisa Hackett, so grateful I home educate my daughter. Nicola Randall, strong words, and do the government not realise that there are other ways to learn? Exactly. And just something else. We have friends who are teachers.
Yeah.
They are stressed beyond belief.
Beyond belief.
They are really, really unhappy. They've had a really difficult lockdown because most of them have still had to go into school for the key workers that come in, and they've had to home educate their own kids, and they're exhausted. So we had a real well, we'll go into our stuff with home education at another point, but you put in very stressed, tired teachers, right? And you leave your child with them all day, and then they've got to do bolt-on sessions as well. Is that actually good?
It's madness.
Is that actually... People are ticking boxes of what has always happened instead of moving with the times and being flexible. Stop this rigid thinking. Oh, they've missed this school. All their educations are going to be fucked up. Hang on, we've all missed our lives for 3 months. We've been in something that hasn't happened for the last 100 years, a pandemic. We need to be kinder and softer and more open to change. Not just go back, let's go back to the old rule. Oh, they've missed the SATs test on such and such. We better do bolt-on sessions to make sure we can get them back tested. It's not working. The testing isn't working anyway.
Gabrielle, what's happened to apprenticeships? Here's a prediction. If
What has happened to apprenticeships?
If academic degrees were reduced to, say, 20% of people went and got them, but the government put all the funding into people being able to pursue expertise in certain trades or certain lines of work that led directly to a job. So what you needed to get the job was told to the educative institution at that level by the trades company itself. This is what you need for this job. This is what you need. Not this strange disconnect between universities and colleges training people in this bubble. It's a bubble of sort of unreality, and then you're spat into the world, and there's the disorientation of graduates. Families must be feeling this across the length and breadth of the country, because I've got it at times with my own children where they're looking around going, well, hang on, no one's waiting for us. No, they're not. Because what they want is someone that can walk into their company and do that A, B, C, and D, not talk about A, C.
Faith Goodman, I totally agree. Teachers' friends are so stressed and under pressure from government. Need support, not criticism. Yeah, exactly. And I hate the way the government have, and Priti Patel, who insinuates that any teacher that felt uncomfortable or scared or worried when the government did terrify everyone out of their minds about going out, that did have any concerns about going back to school, she's more or less marked them as non-heroes. They need support. They need a bit of a rest actually after lockdown, not bolt-on sessions. Anyway. Sorry,
that went off on one there. Yeah. But I suppose because we've been talking about in our podcast, small children, what we're talking about, parental guilt. So many decisions we make around children is because we feel guilty about something we haven't done. It's the classic thing. We don't ask them to do this, we don't ask them to do that, and then one of the parents suddenly snaps and goes, do all of this now, and the kid's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't blame the child. The child has got... but this is like us societally going, oh, rush the kids in.
It's projection of anxiety onto our younger people. And it's like, she gets a lot of hassle for it. Charlotte, what's the singer that's got the home ed school? Charlotte Church. She just keeps saying, I haven't heard any voices of the children. Has anyone asked the children how they're feeling, what they think? I'd love to hear from young people.
It's just, But
anyway.
Well, if you like that, just land your breast on the thumb again. So... Just hit the thumbs up.
Right, I'm just going to wear my breast drops.
Well, 1 second. If they get the thumbs up to say 400, drop your breast.
Okay.
You ready? Come on, get it to 400, guys.
But I'm dropping it to show them where the arrow is.
It's just beneath where her hand is. If you hit that and get it to 400, she'll...
I've gone up on my tiptoes now.
No, it's getting there.
300.
She's on tiptoes. She's about to let it land on the thumb. 323. It's suddenly surging. Stay patient. Come on, guys.
You can grape me cantaloupes, but you mustn't touch me plums.
400 might be a bit ambitious. 350.
You can scrape me artichokes, but you mustn't touch me plums. Here we go.
There. 340, 360, 30. Come on, guys. Come on, we can do this.
Do people know what we're asking
We're asking them to hit the thumb icon beneath the screen.
Come on, girls.
In order for her to drop her boob on the bottom of the shot. Come on.
Right, I'm moving into...
Come on, 368, 378.
I'm moving into humiliation area now. So if you could just get these thumbs hit, please.
It looks fantastic, though. 12. We've got 12 to go. Come on, team. Come on, team. Yay! See the time delay. That's so funny. Sarah W., you both had far too much coffee.
We've had about 5 shots this morning.
Anyway,
Oh God! Now we have to get on with the rest of our work of the day.
Lee,
We've got so much.
Lee, I can tell you that's the first time I've ever given a thumbs up for women's breasts. Well done, Lee.
Oh, Lee, I love you.
All right, guys.
Did you get your booster? Do we have?
Sounds like a booster seat. What is he short?
Do we have what's it?
Booster for YouTube.
Yeah. Do we have enough internet?
Oh, I see. He needs a booster. How do you do a shared live on YouTube then?
I don't know. Michelle told us, and Lee understands.
I thought you were
I
talking
don't
about
understand.
getting a piece of kit that meant you could have a shot.
No, a boost breast drop.
Breast drop. Yeah, winning.
It didn't hurt actually.
So see you later for the quiz. 8 o'clock quiz. Questions start at 8:15.
Everybody follow Lee Peart,
Lee Peart.
Peart.
Yeah.
Because we are going to be doing a joint live cocktail making session on Saturday night.
Did he post that wonderful serenading of himself in the mirror? Is that on YouTube or is that on Instagram?
That's on Instagram.
That was
It's TikTok.
Effing hysterical.
He's
Lee. I love
hilarious
that.
on TikTok.
Yeah, really good. Really good.
Oh,
And top tip, Lee, I noticed you did something about re-evaluating the ending or
Shut
something
a
of
bit.
Beauty and the Beast. That's a really good avenue to mine in terms of all
That's
the
what I keep
all the
saying
Disney
to him.
films.
It was really good. Watch his Beauty and the Beast and all the things you shouldn't say to a
Yeah.
gay man, which I've said every single
I
one.
think you could get Disney behind you if you were to
Oh,
kind of
thank you,
target all of their films.
Henrietta. Henrietta subscribed to Lee yesterday. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Henrietta.
Well done, Henrietta.
All right, my lovelies.
Lots of love.
Lots of love.
Take care, guys. See you later.
Bye.
And quiz tonight and a vlog at some
Oh,
point.
Lee, thank you for my ice cube tray. I got it. Thank you. So I'm ready to cocktail. Thank you.
And just quickly say, the pregnancy thing is being booked. We're trying to get it from the Netherlands. Promise you. It's coming. It's coming, isn't it? We're trying to get it.